Did you know that land fraud rarely involves one person? Let me tell you why. Usually, once there is fraud to do with land, it involves a team of persons. And they usually commit what is called conspiracy to defraud one of land. Now, what is conspiracy to defraud? Conspiracy to defraud involves the agreement of two or more persons to permanently deprive someone of something that they own or to which they are entitled, or to put them at risk of losing such rights or entitlement. Now, conspiracy to defraud usually involves a person who impersonates the owner. That is when it comes to land matters. It involves somebody who is a document forger. It involves somebody who is a facilitator, and sometimes it involves somebody who is posing as a purchaser. Now, conspiracy to defraud, prosecutors usually succeed in their quest to ground liability for conspiracy to defraud. Why do I say so? Because it involves a network of persons, and it doesn't matter how minor the involvement is, you can still be charged with conspiracy to defraud. And also, when it comes to conspiracy to defraud, the prosecutor look for the agreement and not whether there was success in completing the crime, because the crime itself involves just the agreement and not whether you succeeded in actually defrauding the person. All right. So the prosecutors look for conversation among the persons, look for involvement when it comes to the monetary division of the monies among the persons. Prosecutors look for phone conversation, online communication, etc., etc. All right. Now, in Jamaica, how the crime operates is that somebody finds an abandoned piece of land. Then there is somebody who goes about to impersonate the owner. Then there is somebody who forges the documentation. And then there is an inside man who is familiar with the system, whether it is at one of the government agencies or involved in real estate transaction. But that person facilitates the conspiracy. And then you have those persons who ensure that the prospective purchaser is rushed into making a deposit, because they usually tell you that there is another person who is interested in purchasing, etc., etc. Never be fooled. To avoid conspiracy to defraud in land transactions in Jamaica, the first thing you need to do, get yourself a competent attorney at law. And attorneys can be checked. We are all registered. We all have a number. All right? So it's easy to check you out. All right. Secondly, ensure that you do a proper surveyor's ID report to ensure that what they claim you are getting does in fact exist on the ground, right? And ensure that whatever documentation you have been given is in fact registered, right, with the National Land Agency. Now, conspiracy to defraud in land matters undermines the torrent system of registration, and so it is aggressively prosecuted in Jamaica, because if people lose faith in the land registry, then you're going to have a problem when it comes to people wanting to invest in land transactions, right? So it is vigorously prosecuted. Now, when it comes to land transaction and fraud, we do not have many such transactions, because the system, there are many layers. The system is layered. There are many layers to the system, because you have to stamp your agreement of sale, then you have to cross stamp it, your transfer document, then you have to have your title, your duplicate certificate of title, and then you have to go to the NLA, the National Land Agency, that's the titles office section, and actually register your transfer. When you have an attorney, that attorney acts as a stakeholder of whatever funds are deposited, so monies are not paid out until the transaction is complete. All right, so that is a way to avoid. But be careful when you're dealing with land. Use competent persons, and don't just trust family members, because oftentimes land fraud involves a family member. All right, so until we meet again, God bless you. Amen.